how is it possible for one single event to be seen as a dream come true by one group and an act of war by another? Today we're diving into a viral video that captures this exact divide. We're going to explore two completely opposite realities that spring from the very same unconfirmed report.
So, the video we're looking at kicks off with this really powerful image from its host, people dancing in the streets. And that right there just immediately makes you wonder, what on earth could cause a reaction so powerful and so divided all around the world? Well, as we're about to see, it all comes down to a single, unconfirmed piece of news.
All right, so the event at the absolute heart of this whole firestorm is an unconfirmed report. The supposed elimination of Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei in a joint U.S. and Israeli strike. This single piece of news, it's the catalyst for literally everything that follows.
Now, to really get why some people were celebrating, the video gives us some crucial context. The Iranian regime had reportedly killed tens of thousands of its own citizens just for protesting. This history is absolutely key to understanding one of the two realities we're about to explore. So first up, let's tune in to the voices of celebration. The video we're examining features several Iranian women, and one of them just sums up the whole feeling with this one powerful line: "This is the best day in our life." The first woman they quote, wow, she does not hold back. Her gratitude is aimed right at the ones who reportedly carried out the strike. It's a totally clear statement that frames this whole thing not as an attack, but as an act of liberation. And then another woman sees this as a massive turning point in history. For her, this is way bigger than just one leader. It's the end of a long, long nightmare, and maybe, just maybe, the beginning of a new chapter for her country. But how do they justify this action? Well, Dr. Venus Shapari, an organizer quoted in the video, uses a very specific term: humanitarian intervention. And that phrase is so important. It completely reframes the act from one of aggression to one of, well, help.
Okay, so these voices of celebration are incredibly powerful. They paint a really clear picture of liberation. But the video quickly shows us this was not the only reaction out there, which leads to the obvious question: was everybody feeling this way?
And the answer presented in the video is a hard no. The footage immediately cuts to counter-protesters, and their signs have a very, very different message. Hands off Iran.
The speaker here presents a completely different reality. She doesn't see liberation at all, she sees an act of aggression. She calls it part of a brutal, unending genocide designed to push imperialist interests. It's the exact same event, just seen through a totally different lens.
And right here is the core conflict just laid out for us. On one side, you have a humanitarian intervention. On the other, an imperialist attack. As the source video shows, these aren't just different opinions. These are two fundamentally separate realities, both born from the exact same unconfirmed report.
So just when you think you've got both sides of the coin figured out, the host of the video throws in another layer of complexity. He warns viewers with the line, "Hate to put a damper in the party time." The host kind of pumps the brakes a little bit, injecting a dose of realism. Because despite all the celebrating, this story is far from over. The idea of a simple, clean victory gets really complicated by some very real, ongoing threats.
So what are these unresolved threats? Well, the video's host points to three key things. First, the appointed heir, Ali Larijani, he's still alive, which means there's a line of succession. Second, retaliatory strikes have apparently already started against U.S. military bases. And third, that ultimate goal of a full regime change, that is a long way from being a sure thing. Suddenly, the future looks a whole lot more uncertain.
And so, this is where we're left, one single event seen as both pure liberation and brutal imperialism, a celebration that's tangled up with unresolved threats. The source material really forces us to ask, what does this kind of divide reveal about conflict today? And maybe more importantly, how do our own experiences and beliefs shape the realities that we choose to see?